we dumped those totes down there, and the idea was to set off a giant polyurethane bomb. In Florida, there was a project where they were doing a big excavation for an expansion on a water treatment plant. And one of these giant buildings, that they were going to build for the water plant, a big giant tank, I think it was a big clear well of some kind, is partially embedded in the ground. So about 25 feet of this building would be in the ground, and then it's on piles because it's full of water. I think it weighs a lot, so it is on piles. And they come in and they put the first test pile in there, and they drill down with it, put the first test pile in, and they fracture the rock where they hit the limestone. And this is about 30 feet below the bottom of the excavation. So now we're about 50 feet below ground level. And they fractured the rock on a Friday afternoon, put this test pile in, left for the day, and they come back on Monday, and the thing is a swimming pool. The whole thing was full of water.
Because when you fracture the rock, all that water
the
table,
aquifer, Florida aquifer, full of, Swiss cheese, limestone down there full of water. It came all up in there, went up through all that 30 feet of soil and filled up that thing. And their whole job came to a halt. And everybody's looking for a miracle. So we went down to their local contractor that uses our poly that we trust, took a look at it, and we said, yeah, this is a tough one, but I think I have an idea. What if we were to send a drill pipe down right next to where the test pile is and where all that water's gushing out? And they estimated it to be about 300 to 500 gallons a minute was the leak.
Wow.
So my best idea is let's put a 2-inch drill pipe down right next to the test pile. We will put as much AP 700 down this pipe as we can with the fast catalyst using diaphragm pumps. And a 2-inch diaphragm pump can empty a 250-gallon tote, in about 5 minutes or less.
So, like, what kind of pressure is that at?
Just running 100 PSI, but they're high flow.
Wow.
We dumped those totes down there, and the idea was to set off a giant polyurethane bomb right there, use that 30 feet of overburden to keep our material trapped down there. And hopefully it would be a big enough poly explosion to just push through that hole and shut the leak down. And the only thing we saw happen was out in the middle of this big excavation, there was a giant geyser, and it was off-gassing. There's this big, looked like Old Faithful, big geyser went off, and then everything was still, and then there was nothing. And then they're like, okay, we got one more tote. We got to make the call right now, or this pipe is going to be locked up. And the guy's like, all right, let's just see what happened, because it's like a $25,000 decision to put that other tote down there, because we made no guarantee. And it worked. It actually sealed it off. And then 2 weeks later, the same thing happened on that site, and they did it again, same contractor. And actually, we did another one like 2 weeks ago and shut off another one of those the same way, basically using overburden, super fast reacting, the 700 with the Cat 107. It's a super fast Cat. I mean, it'll go off in like 1 or 2 seconds. I mean, it's just boom. And it worked.